need more references to real life.
And a lot of contemporary music being played during action scenes in a movie.
I use it as a crutch. Welcome to the Review, a show where two small-town dudes give your big dumb opinions. I am Troy to the Max Extreme.
I am JT3K.
Today,
Donkey!
we are going all over Shrek 2, sequel to the highly applauded Shrek when it came out.
Yeah.
I don't remember when it came out.
I know you said you saw Shrek not too long ago.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what you thought of Shrek 2 as we get into it.
Going into this movie and watching it, I think this is the first time I've ever seen Shrek 2.
Really?
I think I've brought it up on the show before, but I could never remember anything that happened in it. And even watching it this time, I'm like, I don't remember any of this. If I've seen it one time in passing.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Because I always argued that I thought Shrek 2 might even be better than Shrek.
So,
we'll save it. Save it
till the very end.
All right. I think I have an idea where I think it might not be better, but I have a reason to think that it might be kind of on par. We'll see.
Okay. Well, why don't we just get into some stats? Some
Drop
T-facts.
them stats.
You got it.
For our last episode, Operation No Baby.
Yes. Also, did Macy like it?
Oh my god. That's what we're all waiting for.
We'll find out.
That's what we're all waiting for.
I can't... Oh, shoot. Before we get into the T-stats,
Yeah.
let's go into all of the entries that we had from our viewers.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up the list that I sent you just a few days ago.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I just didn't tell you what they were, but I had them all on my phone. For no reason. Like, I just didn't tell you.
You're getting off on withholding.
Yeah. So there were some entries I didn't include in this list because Macy has already watched them and we're trying to get over them. Like, Coco was one of those.
Yeah.
And Moana, I think, was one, too.
I think you even said that when you were watching Paddington, all Macy was doing was yelling Coco.
Yeah. Yes. So, here we go. Here's every entry that we received. Mickey Mouse. There are a few movies on Netflix like that. I've seen them before. Hotel Transylvania 3. Road to El Dorado. Shrek 2. Cars 2. A lot of sequels.
Yeah.
Sing. Looney Tunes. Which, it didn't win, but I went to go look to see what kind of Looney Tunes or movie, even like Back in Action.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it on any service.
I don't think Back in Action is on anything. We just got done with Looney Tunes watching Space Jam.
That's right. Check out that review.
Yeah. Come on and swim.
My Little Pony movie, Monster High, and Mulan. So we threw all of those in a pile, and we drew out Shrek 2.
Yeah.
And that was our winner. I don't remember who suggested it, but if you did, pat yourself on the back. You won.
I think Shrek is on Netflix, isn't it?
Shrek, maybe.
The original Shrek?
Yeah, it's either that or HBO.
Okay.
I can't remember.
'Cause I think when I looked up Shrek on HBO, it was Shrek 2 and Shrek Ever After or something.
Oh, okay. I guess that could be it. Whatever, donkey. Oh yeah, I'm going farther down in the chat. So I'm like 30 minutes into Paddington and loving life right now. Oh, shit. Except Macy now wants to watch Coco.
And then I think I started sending you Boss Baby gifts.
Yes, you did. You fucker. Anyway, back into Shrek 2.
Yes.
Dropping May 19th, 2004.
Wow, what a big summer release.
May 19th, my brother's birthday.
May 19th.
So check that out. Guess which brother it is. Let us know. With a budget of $125 to $150 million.
Oh, jeez.
$25 million swing in there somewhere. Could be.
Drugs.
Domestically made $441.2 million.
That might be a success.
Worldwide, $919.8 million.
Almost made that bill.
Almost made it.
Jesus.
In 2004, almost made that bill. Christ on a cross.
Oh shit! This is like before like bills were kind of like anticipated.
Right. Rotten Tomatoes has this at 89%, IMDb 7.2 out of 10, Metacritic 75%, and maybe my new favorite review channel, Boba Fett 1138.sealteam.1138.com gave it a 7 out of 10.
That guy sounds awesome.
Boy, does he. This movie is the #1 animated fantasy movie to date.
What?
Yes.
Holy
domestically,
shit.
Domestic box office.
Yeah.
Is the #1 animated fantasy movie to date. Could you tell me what the top 5 are?
God damn
Shrek
it.
2 being number 1.
Yeah, I couldn't even think to... Ugh.
I'll give you a big hint.
Give me a big hint.
2 of these are Disney movies that are fairly recent.
Jesus Christ.
And 2 of these are sequels of each other.
Well, Frozen, probably.
Frozen is '2.
Okay. God. I don't know. I'm too far gone.
Okay.
I don't know.
#3 is Shrek the Third, ironically.
Fair enough.
#4 is the original Shrek.
Okay.
And #5 is Moana.
Moana.
That's right.
Make waves, make waves.
Nobody ever leaves.
You're stuck here.
And no one leaves.
Yeah. I just want to see like that part of the song being played as he like slowly strokes a cat
Or opens up the dead coconuts.
No one leaves.
Anyway, that's my favorite song in the whole thing because it's so cryptic and scary. This movie is also the #3 animated movie of all time.
Yeah.
Box office, domestic box
Jesus,
office
number
wise.
3 of all time? Holy fuck.
So, what are do you have the top 5 for that? What would be,
no fucking clue.
come on. Give me some names.
Frozen.
Play games with me here. No.
Fucking. Animated.
Let me give you a hint.
Give me hints.
They're pretty popular.
Oh my fucking god.
I'll give you I'll give you a hint. The third one is Shrek 2. And yeah, fuck, I'll just tell you. #5,
Yeah.
Toy Story 3.
Okay.
#4, The Lion King.
Okay.
#3, Shrek 2.
Yeah.
#2, Finding Dory.
Jesus.
I know. And #1, which is the most surprising to me, Incredibles 2.
Oh wow.
It didn't go over like super hot when it came out.
Well, it was highly anticipated.
Yes, it was highly anticipated, but like I figured it wasn't received as well as the first one. But I mean, superheroes are hot now and blah 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 blah. So I don't know. Maybe it makes more sense when you think about it. But compared to the rest of these, I would have figured it'd be farther down the list and not at #1.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Incredibles 2 on Netflix right now.
Check it out sometime.
Check it out. Our review also is on. We did a review on it.
Also on Netflix. No, that's not.
Yeah. Check out a review of it on Netflix.
So JT, would you like to hand the reins over to me to tell you what happened in Shrek 2?
Troy, what happened in Shrek 2?
Thank you. I've been waiting all night for this to happen. So Shrek 2 follows Fiona and Shrek after their whirlwind adventure of the first one. And now they are a married couple. They're off on their honeymoon when they're interrupted by Donkey himself.
Donkey!
And in that interruption, they get interrupted again from a royal party inviting them both to go to far, far away where Fiona is from to meet up with old mom and dad.
Yeah.
And then hilarity ensues.
Old Shrek meeting the in-laws. Elbow, elbow.
And then hilarity ensues when they get there, and Shrek is a bit of a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Not even that. It's more along the lines of Shrek is like
Shrek is an ogre that turned their daughter into an ogre.
Yes. And it doesn't go over so hot.
Yeah.
And what is the king and queen going to do to remedy that situation? Well, there you got the Shrek 2 right there.
It's kind of like a fantasy version of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
A little bit. It kind of plays like a really... I feel like I'm getting flack for saying this.
Oh, no.
But kind of on the nose of like having a white girlfriend and bringing like her black boyfriend
Guess
home.
Who's Coming to Dinner.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is.
I guess I didn't know that or The Edge.
Or The Edge.
Oh, shit. Anyway, fuck me, right?
This is... Shrek 2 is a fantasy retelling of The Edge.
Yes, it is. Less bears.
Yeah,
but
less
somehow...
bears, more cats and boots.
There we go. More puss in boots.
More puss.
There you go. Anyway, that's a Shrek 2 right there.
There you go. Bada bing, got a Shrek 2.
There you got a Shrek 2. Okay, I just want to say this right off the bat before I forget. So the animation in this is, I think, still good for 2004.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, as good as stuff that's coming out now.
Mm-hmm.
But especially for DreamWorks, I think the animation in this is very, very good.
Yeah.
And I love... One of my favorite things about the Shrek movies is that, like, just regular human villagers...
Yeah.
just look funny to me because they have like these generic, just computer generated kind of faces and bodies. Yeah. And if they're not like,
they look like Sims.
They do. And it makes me happy on how awkward they look. Because if they're not like Fiona or like Farquaad or like the main, like actual different looking characters, they kind of look all the same. And I like it. I was noticing it when I was watching this and I'm like, I just want to see more of them. I just love all of this stuff.
Yeah. I want to see a backstory of all of these villagers that all look the same. I know, like, even like all of like the women and stuff have like bonnets so they don't have to like go out of their way to fucking animate hair for all of them.
Right. But I would have to say though, like, I took notice of like the hair in this looks very good, I think.
Oh yeah.
Like Fiona's hair, you can see like every strand of hair on her head.
Yeah.
I really like it. Even if one's out of place, you can see it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a big attention to detail, especially
even when
like
Donkey becomes a steed and he just like is like waving his hair like a Pantene commercial.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we're going to spoil this whole thing right off the bat. It came out, however, 15 years ago.
Yeah, no shit.
But,
God, 15 years. We're old.
Yes. This, I guess it took me by surprise. I didn't know what to expect in this, but everyone says it was good. And I was watching it, and I'm like, I don't think the Shrek movies, at least what I can remember from 1 and 2, I would consider kids' movies.
Yeah.
I think they're more or less romantic comedies that are animated.
Yeah, I would say so.
Especially Shrek 2, I think caters way more to like an adult sense of humor.
Yeah.
While not like tipping the scales over into like an adult movie.
Yeah.
But I think adults get more out of the humor in this than kids ever would.
Yeah. Like the main kid thing about Shrek 2 is that they deal with child stories.
Yeah. And it's fun in an animated world and like crazy things are happening.
But it's also stories that adults know too.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what they get out of it. It's like even like with like the childlike humor in it, like the adults still get something out of it.
Yeah. So this is done by DreamWorks, and if you're going to our even most recent DreamWorks reviewed movie, which is Boss Baby, we said that the humor in that is very heavily leans on pop culture references as a crutch.
God.
I don't think Shrek strays far from that. If not,
No.
it doubles down on pop culture references.
Yeah.
There are a lot in this.
Yeah.
Like when Puss in Boots jumps inside Shrek's tunic and busts out of his chest like the alien.
Yeah.
There's that kind of stuff.
But I think with this, like, with Shrek 2, I think it's a pop culture reference, but it's not one that you have to understand to, like, enjoy it. Because with, like, Boss Baby, like, it's, like, a legit... When they do with Boss Baby, it's, like, a line where they pause for laughter, where it's, like... If you didn't know what that was from, you would understand what the fuck is going on right now.
Yes.
But with this, it's like, okay, yeah, Pinocchio gets led down into a dungeon cell on his wires like Mission Impossible.
Yes.
You could just take it as a fucking puppet's being led down into a dungeon by its strings and not have to get the reference that it's from Mission Impossible.
Yeah, that's true. But I would say though that I think there are more references in this than there are in like Boss Baby.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you though. You kind of turned me around on it because I was like, man, they're really using that as a crutch because the humor comes from like, oh, that's from something else. That's funny. But like, I guess if you're a kid and watching it, you're like, oh, that's funny and goofy. Like, look at him get tangled up in his strings.
Yeah. Like you're not watching this being like, oh my God, cookies are for closers. That's funny to me.
Because I love Glenn Ross.
Yeah. But with this, like a lot of it's more physical, where it plays out in the scene, and you don't have to be like, oh yeah, that's from that movie. That's what makes this funny.
Yeah, I suppose. The song of choice for this one is "Accidentally in Love," which they play right off the bat in the beginning of this.
Yeah.
By the Counting Crows.
I thought it was Bare Naked Ladies, isn't it?
I don't fucking know. Let's ask Google. Hey, Google. Who sings Accidentally in Love?
Accidentally in Love was recorded by Counting Crows.
Fuck!
Yes! Thank you, Google.
Son of a bitch.
In your face. But they also do like a version of La Vida Loca at the end of this, which is awful.
Awful.
I actually had to go and listen to it after I watched this movie to just feel better. And I listened to it while cooking dinner tonight.
Yeah. The fact that there's a version of Living La Vida Loca being sung by Eddie Murphy and Antonio Banderas.
That is somehow even more awful than what you just imagined.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine Eddie Murphy and Antonio Banderas singing Livin' La Vida Loca, and then imagine a worse song than that. They find a way to be worse than that.
Yeah. It's terrible. And that's how they end the movie. And it's like, oh, God.
Granted, like, there's a lot of kids' movies. Like I listen to, like, movie review, like, podcasts all the time, and it's an ongoing trend where there's at least one song and dance break where they use a contemporary song in a kid's movie where they're just like, I wanted to legit put needles in my ears and eyes because it's so fucking painful.
Yeah. But this movie uses a lot of pop culture songs in this.
Yeah. That's the thing that rubbed me the wrong way the most about this movie, is that there's so many... Anytime they have a chance to do a contemporary song break, they take advantage of it. Where I'm like, wow, this you're dating the fuck out of this movie. Like, watching it now, like 15 years later, like some of this music is pretty fucking dated.
Yeah, they have Accidentally in Love, Holding Out for a Hero, Changes, Funky Town, I'm on My Way, La Vida Loca.
There's even some songs I've never even like really heard. Like, they're not even like considered like classics that people would catch on to. They're just a contemporary song they're throwing in during like a scene where Shrek is being forlorn. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, why is this song in here? Did someone pay you to put this song in?
Yeah, I don't
in
know.
Here? Like, there's like, gotta put the old horse down or whatever. Like, what the fuck is this song you're playing? While Shrek is like walking around in Fiona's old room, butt naked, reading her diary. Like, what's this fucking dumb bullshit song you're playing?
Oh my god! There were some songs in this too that they played that I thought were like, not appropriate is not the word I'm trying to search for, but
yeah, there's like a weird chase scene in the fairy godmother's
that's the one I'm
factory.
thinking of.
And they're just, it's like this, I'm a fall in love going on and I'm falling in love. Or like, why are you playing this stupid song? He's being
a bad
chased.
song.
Yeah, you're being chased and like you're singing this song about falling in love.
Yeah, it's a bad song, and I found it very out of place and very bad.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if this movie just couldn't afford a score or what, but it was like, they would just, anytime they had like an action scene or like a place where like they needed to like fill in some empty space, they like played some weird contemporary song that was like, why?
Yeah. But see, like, that's what, like, I was doubling, like, they, like, doubled down on the pop culture references then. Because I kind of have those go hand in hand with each other. Especially if the characters are going to sing the song at the end of the movie. Then I'm just like, ugh, because not all of them hit. Like, not all of them can be Smash Mouth from the first one.
Yeah.
Who, regardless of what you think of Smash Mouth, if you take those songs out of the first Shrek movie,
Yeah.
you feel like it's missing something.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I would not give a complete shit at all if they took La Vida Loca out of the end of this.
Yeah.
Accidentally in Love, I think, is a fitting song for the beginning of this.
Yeah.
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 Otherwise,
I feel like they just couldn't afford to write a full-fledged score, and they just fucking bought up a bunch of contemporary songs and just placed them where they would put an actual score.
yeah. But story-wise, though,
Yeah.
what do you think about the story to this?
I mean, in terms of like how if you were to take Shrek and Shrek would be like the like they introduce all of like the main characters, I think this one takes it as like, okay, now you know all the characters, what they're about. Now let's really dive into like this fairy tale world, and they actually like find ways to incorporate things you know from fairy tale worlds or fairy tale stories and turn them on their head, where it almost is kind of a like a satire on like especially Disney movies. Like DreamWorks is fucking really sticking it to Disney with this, where it's like, yeah, all of your fucking movies involve beautiful people fucking, and like with no, and like the women having no agency whatsoever. It's all based on like what the men want.
Yep.
Where like this really sets it home, where it's like, oh shit, Shrek 2 is really pointing out how Disney's fucked.
And the fact too that so like Disney characters are public domain.
Yeah.
That's why they can just make movies of all this stuff.
Yeah.
So like they show up in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like not necessarily by character, but they have references to Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella.
Yep.
I think there was another one in there that they were driving into Far, Far Away, and it's like almost like Beverly Hills.
Yep.
And they have got like, you can see like people's gates to their houses and stuff. Like Cinderella has like a big archway and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
I know a lot of this reminded me of that comic book you have, Fables.
Yeah.
Where it's like the Prince Charming in that is just this horrible womanizer
Sleaze,
that's fucked so many people.
Right.
And you kind of get that feeling from him, where he just gets bored with princesses and then like moves on to the next one.
Yeah, the only difference between like the one in Fables and this guy though is that the one in Fables is like the classically attractive one. He kind of looks like Archer from Archer.
Yeah.
Or like Prince Charming from Cinderella, the original animated one.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this guy is like a blonde surfer kind of a look. Not like
He's
a surfer look.
Yeah,
but
he's more like he's a terrible mama's boy, which I love about him in this.
Who is the Paul Rudd character from Parks and Rec? Who's like kind of stunted.
Yeah.
Is his name Buddy or something like that? Anyway,
Maybe.
he kind of reminded me of him.
Yeah.
Because he's just like kind of like a mama's boy, gets kind of everything he wants,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. I really liked it.
Like, he strikes you as, like, he doesn't live with his mom, but, like, they're really close.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really close.
Yeah.
Like,
His
I
mom
love
being the fairy godmother.
Yeah. I love the scene when, like, they stop at the fucking, that, like, fast food place.
Yeah.
And then he, like, gets, like, that, like, kid's meal, and he's wearing the fucking cardboard crown the whole time.
His toy was an axe. Actually, when they pulled into Far, Far Away, I was looking, like, in the background of kind of a bunch of stuff. And there's, like, a bunch of actual, like, plays on, like, name brand stuff. Like, they had a play on, like, Burger King, which is not where they stopped during the drive-thru. It's
Yeah.
like a Big Boy they stopped at.
Yeah.
And they have, like, a play on Starbucks. I think a play on Versace, like a department store.
Yeah, there's, like, Versace.
Yeah. Like a bunch of fun little things where they just change. They have the, like, the logos, but they change what the thing says.
Yeah.
Thought that was kind of cool. Just the fact that they're in, like, a Beverly Hills type establishment, and there's like that stretch limo carriage and all that kind of stuff.
No,
like,
yeah, that's fun stuff.
yeah. Well, really, like, imaginative stuff.
Yeah.
That I didn't really see a whole lot of out of the first Shrek. Even though the first Shrek was set the groundwork for all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
Like, they really up the ante in this and, like, really have fun with it.
Yeah.
And I liked it a lot.
Yeah, like, they played a lot with, like, Shrek, since he lives in a swamp. It's like the country boy going into the city to meet, like, people that are out of his element.
Right. And I do like the story in this, because it kind of, like, is the mirror of the first one, where you find out that Fiona is, like, has a spell on her where she turns into an ogre.
Yeah.
But then you get to see in this one, like, a human form of Shrek.
Yeah.
But I thought was really cool.
Which I gotta go back to when we talked about Justice League, like, how people said that Henry Cavill with his mustache erased looks like human Shrek.
Oh, shit. A little bit.
You gotta look, yeah. Like that first scene when he gets, like, interviewed by the kids in the podcast.
Uh-huh.
He looks like human Shrek. Because, like, they fatten him up, like, they fatten his jowls up just a little bit more so they can hide the mustache. He looks like human Shrek.
God damn it. That'll never go away. That'll haunt Henry Cavill for his whole life. But yeah, and then I like, because the reason he has to do that is because he wants the family's approval, because he loves Fiona, like, in and out. Like, he'll do anything to stay with her.
Well, yeah, because they do the whole thing where it's like Fiona turned into an ogre to be with Shrek, and now he's trying to return the favor where he's trying to turn human for Fiona.
Right.
Where, like, he's showing that, like, he's willing to do anything to be with her, like she was willing to do anything to be with him.
Yeah. And I thought that was, like, a super positive, like, very... I guess it's not super positive, because it's just, like, changing yourself to try to make or be with somebody else. But I do like that he's willing to do whatever, because he genuinely just really loves this lady.
Yeah.
And, like, that never breaks through this whole movie. Like, he's really, when he gets turned into his human form and, like, can't get to her, like, just drives him insane.
Yeah.
And gets, like, locked up, and he has to figure out how to break
my God.
out.
My favorite part of this whole movie was when they showed the clip of Knights, which is, like, their version of Cops. It's
That
so
was
fucking good. Even down to where they said that he's getting away in a white Bronco. And then they arrest him, and then he starts being unruly, so they fucking use pepper grinders on him.
Yes. Or when they're also trying to arrest Puss in Boots,
Yeah, they
and they're
find
like,
catnip
we found
on him."
catnip
Yeah,
on him.
It's not mine.
Yeah, that was really good.
That whole fucking thing from Knights is just fantastic.
I liked it a lot. Every little aspect of that I could watch again and again. It was so good. So we also later find out that the king of Far, Far Away, Fiona's father, has made a deal with the fairy godmother
Yeah.
in order to get Fiona to marry Prince Charming
Yeah.
rather than Shrek, because he is not liking Shrek so much because he's a Shrek.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that. I think it's more about because he made a deal with her that Fiona's gonna end up with Prince Charming because she did a thing for him that they reveal at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that's the thing I like the most about Shrek is that they take like the common fairy tale story that we followed throughout all of our lives, like even like down to like every Disney movie I've ever seen is the same kind of formula where it's like Princess in Peril, Prince Charming moves in, like saves the day, kisses the princess, they live happily ever after. This takes that entire story and it's like, yeah, but what if Prince Charming was a dick?
Mm-hmm.
And like, what if like every princess he's ever gotten with it just has no agency?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, yeah, it literally, like I said before, it just takes that whole Disney formula and is like, it's very problematic.
Yeah.
And this is why.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it, where, yeah, that's literally like the main plot of the story is like, it takes that classic Disney story and is just like, no, this is fucked.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the best part about it, where the first one is just like the classic story, but it's like with an ogre, and this is like the classic story, but being like sidetracked by the fact that the first one happened.
Mm-hmm. I was just reminded when doing a bit of research for this that there's a fifth one of these coming out this year.
Oof. I thought it was a reboot.
Well, I don't know if it's a soft reboot or what. I still don't know that yet.
Man.
But I think I've seen the third one of these.
The third one sucks.
I can't remember anything.
The third one sucks. It's like, I think it's Shrek has to be the king. Like, they hire Shrek to be the king. Yeah, Fiona's dad dies, so they hire Shrek to be the king, and he doesn't want to be king, so he goes to this land that's like far away to go to a college to recruit the next one in line, who is Arthur, so that they recruit King Arthur.
Nice. Jesus. Then what happens in Shrek Forever After?
I think that's supposed to be like a weird retelling of It's a Wonderful Life, where like Shrek wishes he was never born, and then he's like shown what would happen if he was never around.
58% on Rotten Tomatoes from that one. What does Shrek the Third have? Ooh, even worse. 41%.
Woof. Yeah, that one's not good, because I think King Arthur's voiced by Justin Timberlake.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's one of those.
What does Puss in Boots have? The spin-off. 85% on
I've heard
Rotten
Puss in
Tomatoes.
Boots isn't terrible.
Really?
They have Zach Galifianakis plays Humpty Dumpty.
Guillermo del Toro plays the mustached man.
What?
I don't know. Billy Bob Thornton's in this movie?
For Puss in Boots?
For Puss in Boots!
Jesus.
Who else is in this movie? I don't think anybody else that I would know.
Well, since we're talking about Puss in Boots, what do you think of Puss in Boots in this?
From what I could remember, I thought he was going to be a bigger player in this. And maybe he is in, like, more subsequent films. Like, once he's introduced, he's in, like, the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he's more of, like, a donkey character. Even less than donkey, I think. They're just kind of, like, nagging with each other, more or less. But,
I do love
I did like him.
I do love when he was introduced, though, because they do play on this whole thing where, like, he's just... I love that whole scene when, like, like he's just sitting on Shrek's shoulder and he's just like whispering shit, and Shrek's like, "No, really?" And then just looks back at Donkey and they start laughing, and it's just driving him insane. Like they don't even like say what they're talking about; they just do that. Like, oh god, I fucking love that so much.
But I could see how he got popular because he is fun in this.
Yeah.
But it was almost totally washed away when they start singing La Vida Loca at the end.
But then when they show up at like the fairy godmother's factory, and then Shrek was like, maybe we could stop by for a spell. And then Puss in Boots loses his goddamn mind laughing. Like, I almost laughed more at that than anything. He's just like, ah! Oh my god. Like, he's just literally just like sucking up to Shrek so bad. And it's just like driving Donkey completely insane. Like, that was probably like one of my favorite things of the whole movie, is just watching Puss in Boots just get closer and closer to Shrek, and Donkey just seething at every single thing that he's doing.
Yeah, that was good. I did like that. What else? I really don't have much of anything else to really criticize or bring up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that I think it's got a fairly decent ending, like love conquers all, kind of a deal.
That action scene when they're singing "I Need a Hero" was pretty fucking badass. With like the giant gingerbread man.
Oh yeah,
like,
that was good.
They're like pouring like foam onto him to try and like
frothed milk.
Frothed milk to like break him apart.
They like hit him.
Yeah, they shoot like a flaming catapult at him, and like his button falls like, not his gumdrop buttons.
He's like screaming like Godzilla. I also like at the end too, when they're singing, even though it's like a bad song, they pan back to the now armless giant gingerbread man. He's just singing underwater where they left him in that moat.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
And no, that whole ending fight with like the fairy godmother too, and like Pinocchio's like jumps at her to get her wand, and she like zaps him like, I'm a real boy.
Oh yeah, a lot of fun little jokes all throughout this.
No, they're
like throwaway things too. They're
all like they're all like fun. It's just the main thing that just drives me insane is that it tries to be so contemporary when they could just easily, if they would have just easily like bought like a score for this, I think it would have been 10 times better. Mm-hmm. But it was just like, we don't need a score. Let's just play a random bullshit song every time we were supposed to have a score there.
Yeah. I mean, you can hardly argue with the results. It almost made $1 billion worldwide.
Yeah, that's true. They probably saved a fuck ton of money on that too.
I guess, because is DreamWorks owned by Sony?
I don't think so.
I can't remember if it is or not. I thought DreamWorks was owned by like a major production studio.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up because it'll drive me nuts if I can't figure it out.
Drive you nuts to butts.
Hey Google, is DreamWorks owned by somebody?
Here's a summary from the website en.wikipedia.org. It was founded in 1994 as a film studio by Steven Spielberg, Jeffrey Katzenberg, and David Geffen, of which they own 72%.
Oh.
As of October 2016, DreamWorks films are marketed and distributed by Universal Pictures.
Oh. It doesn't really
it's
apply here.
I don't think it's, yeah.
Anyway, all in all, Shrek 2 was, I think, a good endeavor in this family-friendly February.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I watched it, because I think I think it is on par with the first one.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you how did this rank compared to the first one?
I don't think I don't see. I think this one has more fun with the material.
Yeah.
but I think the first one may be a little bit more clever. I see.
Okay.
I don't know. But I think I like the first one just as much as the second one.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's where I'm about with you too. Like, I think, yeah, the second one I think has more fun with the fairy tale idea, whereas the first one is like, it takes place in a fairy tale world, but it focuses more on trying to introduce you to all of the main characters and try and get you to like them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it does a good job. And like there's no point in the first one that I really could point out that I dislike. Where in this one, there's like one or two things I'm like, I don't really like that so much.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't think the first one leans so heavily on pop culture references either.
Yeah.
There are some,
Yeah.
but this one, it's like every scene there's one. And the first one, regardless of what you think of Smash Mouth, I think has a better soundtrack than the second one.
Gotcha.
So all in all, I think they're pretty equal.
All right.
Both pretty good.
Yeah, but we got our ideas. How about Macy? What did she think?
She is not into it.
Yeah?
I don't think she just likes Shrek.
Yeah?
She was watching it for a little bit, but as I was watching it, she just wanted to do anything else.
Yeah.
Didn't hold her attention when I'm like, no, I'm just gonna watch. You want to watch Shrek with me? No, she did not want to do any of that.
Fuck Shrek.
And maybe it was the day, but even when I tried to get her to watch the first one, she didn't seem to be into that either. So I don't know what it is. She's just not a fan of Shrek.
It's too outdated.
Fan. I don't know. Needs something more on her level.
Yeah.
I guess. Like Boss Baby or something.
Yeah. Shrek 2 is not as good as Boss Baby.
Which is a lie. Shrek 2, I think I would grade, I don't know, B plus? B plus?
Yeah. Probably like a higher end B for me.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty strong. It was a good movie.
Yeah. I had fun with I especially like that last half hour, I think it picks up so well. I was loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to watch the last half hour while I was doing dishes,
Mm-hmm.
and like I was laughing the whole time. And Mom was like, "What the fuck is so funny?" Like these knights are fucking pepper grinding into Shrek's eyes.
Good stuff.
Yeah, but I had fun with it. Like, yeah, there's some slow moments here and there, but I had fun with it for the most part.
Sweet deal. Me too. Agreed.
So out of the 3 films that we reviewed, which one do you think Macy might revisit?
The 3 films being Shrek 2.
Shrek 2, Space Jam, and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Out of all of them, I think you would take the cake on this one. She would probably watch Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs the most.
Yeah.
I kind of had that feeling when I chose Space Jam. Because I knew she wasn't going to care at all about the human parts. But she liked the Looney Tunes bits.
Gotcha. Well, I was in it to win it, Troy.
And you did win it. Because I think she was invested almost the whole way through.
Sweet.
It's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That's going to be the winner. So we'll see if we can add that into the rotation.
Yeah.
Let's see what comes of that. More of that to come, I suppose.
I'm curious about that second one. Because it looks insane.
I want to say I've seen that one, but I couldn't tell you anything that happens in it.
So it must be awesome.
I don't hear much people talking about it now, so I don't know. So that'll be the show for this Monday.
The end of Operation No Baby.
That's right.
We'll say it was a mild success or a learning experience at the most.
Very much so. It was good to get out of our wheelhouse and do some family-friendly films.
Exactly.
At the very least.
Exactly.
Broaden our horizons.
Yes.
It's coming up Thursday, JT.
Yes.
We got a sequel to what we reviewed last week.
Yes. Paddington with Paddington 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Can't wait to watch that again.
next Monday we are talking about The Umbrella Academy on Netflix, so get it watched.
Mark your calendars.
Got 10 episodes to watch before next week. Get it watched, damn it!
If you haven't already, tune into that Netflix. Binge it. That's what the kids are doing now. Binging things, I hear.
Yeah, kids love binging.
Drinking all those soda pops that I hear that the kids are so keen about.
They love them.
So that'll be it for this show. Where can people find us if they are so apt to, JT?
Well, they can always find me at Bucky for on Twitter, also Bucky for on Instagram, and him at Bucky for on Snapchat. Troy.
Find me at Short of the Max on Twitter. Find us both at Review Pod on Twitter. You can find our show in a variety of places. All your podcatchers out there should be able to find us if you search Review, spelled just how it is in the title of the episode. If you want to write in, please do so at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com. That'll do it.
That'll do it.
That's right. So, until Thursday, JT, where Paddington 2 comes to the viewers, or listeners, I guess. More apt to be listeners.
Yes.
I have been Short of the Max Extreme.
I am JT3K.
And we are off.